puppies. These are the youngest members of our kennel, and we like to bring them out here every morning and, play with them, and all this is part of their training.
Well, it is interesting because it looks like play to us, but the learning starts almost immediately. What do you do when they're born?
Well, what we like to do is we go into the pen with the mothers, and what we do is we pick up each little pup individually and blow across their noses. Now, this is really important because for the first 9 to 10 days of their life, their eyes aren't open yet, so we have to depend on their sense of smell. All that breath, all that understanding of us is really going to pay huge dividends later, because once they get their eyes open, they already know and trust us. And this starts what my mom would call the trust and be trusted relationship, which is so important to all of the training that we do here.
So where you go, they can go with confidence. And obviously it's hard for us to realize that you got to learn about rocks and jumping in the boat and wading in the water and jumping over the logs, because it's pretty tough out there on the big trail, isn't it?
It really is. So, this is such an important part of their training. What we like to do with the pups, once they get their legs under them and they're feeling a little bit more confident, is introduce no obstacles to them. Well, today it's getting into the boat, because pretty soon we're going to want to load them up in that and take them down to one of the sandbars on the Tanana, because that is so much fun for these pups, and they really get a kick out of that. But first, they have to learn how to get into the boat. Now, at first it may be a little challenging for them, so we're going to help them. Then once they're able to do it on their own, we praise them on the other side. And this teaches the little pups that we're never going to ask them to go any farther or faster than they're capable of, and we're always going to be there for them if things get tough.
Well, things get tough on the Iditarod, as you know. 700 miles that you went to honor your mom's memory at age 11. How can you possibly get them ready before they're actually out there?
Well, we just continue to introduce new obstacles every single day, but pretty soon, we're not going to be fast enough to keep up with those pups anymore. So we have to introduce some older teachers who are. So that's the retired dogs in our kennel. We have so many wonderful dogs who maybe aren't running in our fastest teams anymore, but still have all this enthusiasm and all this energy and frankly all this knowledge that they can pass on to the younger generation. So what we like to do is we take a litter of puppies out with us and a couple of older retired dogs as well. And we're going to go for some daily walks in the woods. And those puppies are going to be free to follow the retired dogs wherever they go. Perhaps they jump off into the woods, they go through some water, go over a big log, and these puppies are going to mimic what the older dogs are doing. And then they're going to come back to us so much more confident because they have overcome these new obstacles and they feel like they're becoming part of the big dog group. And that's really important because then later on in their life, we're going to hook them up into harness and do sort of the same thing.
Well, now, are they a certain weight or a certain age, or what are the components of the decision when they're ready to go into harness?
Well, it normally happens at about 6 months old that we put these pups into harness for the first time, and that's because they're the right size. But also, more importantly than that, that instinct to pull has kicked in. So these Alaskan Huskies really love running in a team, and we want to foster that love of running in a team throughout their entire lives. So again, we use a couple of older dogs to our advantage. Hook up 2 well-run adult leaders out in front of the team and 4 to 6 puppies behind them. And it's so instinctive for these pups to want to pull that after we give the older dogs the forward command and they take off running down that trail, those little pups are just going to pick up and follow them. And within just a few minutes, it looks like we have a small adult team of dogs. We actually have a saying here at Trailbreaker that it takes a minute to teach them to go, but a year to teach them to whoa.
Yeah, well, that's the hard part is we're going to see now. You're ready to go out with a group this morning, and just like baseball teams have positions, so do dog teams. Can you run down your lineup before you leave?
Absolutely. So these guys are going to start going wild because they know we're going for a training run. The first dogs that we hook up in our team are called the lead dogs. Now you may have heard the term lead dog before because they're some of the most important in the kennel. They're in charge of steering the team. They're also in charge of setting the pace for the rest of the team. So we want to know that we really trust the dogs that we're running in this lead position. We start looking for the characteristics of a lead dog when there's no one who's probably something wrong. The puppy that's the first to jump over the log or explore the water, we know that they have that courage, that independent mind that we're looking for in a dog running in the lead position. Now in the middle of the team we have team dogs. In a race like the Iditarod or the Yukon Quest, you start off with 16 dogs in your team. So you can imagine how long these lines get and how powerful the teams we're taking to know truly are. Now, you're actually going to have 5, so that throughout a race you can actually switch them out of that position, because it can be really taxing hitting every obstacle first. Now, in the back closest to the sled, we have the wheel dog. Sometimes you'll see a bigger or a burlier dog in this position, simply because it's closer to the sled, and therefore can feel more of the weight. But we don't have a sled today, obviously, because it's the summertime. Instead, we use this 4-wheeler. And what my dad's done with this thing is he's taken out the engine and he enhanced the brakes. And that's so that these dogs can continue to do what they love all year round.
Now let's listen as Tekla gives him the go signal. She won't say mushu huskies like Sergeant Preston. Let's listen here. Everybody gets a final check like a pilot walking around the airplane. They are going to blast out of here and everything gets immediately cut. All right, here we go. Now.
Oh, shit.
There's nothing like it. There's no experience like this, particularly when they
They forgot whether to let him coming around the back.
miles they won, you hang on for dear life. There they go on the outer edge of the dog yard. You hang on for dear life for 5 miles and your eyes water. They go so fast. Now she's going up around the house. Oh, there goes Stego behind her. We'll see him. That's a 16-year-old lead dog that loves to run with the youngsters. She's going to go up around the house that her parents built. We'll see her on the far side of the lake. And you'll be able to see her in a second when she breaks out of the bushes and starts talking between the little building and the vet barn. But when she gets beyond the vet barn, then depend on the video, because Julian will have her on the camera. She's not visible yet. It'll be just a couple
Here we are
seconds.
coming
There they
out of the
are,
trees
right
on the
there.
other side
Oh,
of the lake.
wow.
And these dogs are really flying. It's so impressive that they can carry me and the 4-wheeler, which weigh about 400 pounds, and still be going at 20 miles per hour. Now, what I like to do during any training run is look at their tug line. That's the line that attaches the back of their harness to the 4-wheeler. I can tell that all of the dogs are working together and doing their job by the fact that all of their tug lines are nice and tight.
Wow.
We're really lucky to have this property, because in the winter, we can go and run for miles on the Iditarod out on the trail. Up ahead, I'm going to give my leaders a left-hand command. Ha!
Okay, now she hit a fork. She's going left. Paw is left, G is right. Just like driving mules on the farm, but unlike driving mules, she doesn't have any reins on their backs. There are no bits in their teeth. All she's got is her voice and those leaders knowing and working in
Oh, she
sympathy.
turned around and went back.
And so it's, oh, there goes Stego. All right, now she's coming back.
Play enough.
Whoops.
Radio might have gotten loose.
Like any endurance athlete or marathon runner, these dogs know that they need to save some energy in reserve, so at the end of that race, they can pass competitors in front of them and keep those up. You'll know is Stego. He loves
she's
in the
talking
team,
about
and
Stego.
quite frankly, he does it beautifully every single day.
Now, Tekla was Susan's grandmother's name.
No, he's there too.
And before this Tekla was born, 2-legged Tekla, Susan had a 4-legged Tekla, a lead dog, and she was out on a Sunday morning, frozen river in February, gave Tekla a G right turn command, and the dog turned hard left, really hard left.
Oh.
And Susan never seen that dog do that before. She called louder, G Tekla, she went haw, real sharp. So Susan let Tekla pull the sled off the river to the left, and the minute they cleared, the ice on the right where they would have been collapsed, went right down into the water, and they would have died right there. Well, I don't know what your team needs, guys, but 254, again, 254 under 3.
Holy cats, that's pretty fast, huh? Well, we're having a lot of fun out here. And
Oh, they get to go
every training
swimming.
run, we like to go up and down the line and give everyone a pat on the back to let them know we appreciate their hard work.
Holy cats, everybody's going into the pool here. That's great. Well, now, of course, when you took off, somebody said, wow. And I know that folks have been impressed with how excited they were, but maybe, I'm sure people have questions about this. Can we talk dogs later at Cheney Village, maybe?
Absolutely. I will be down there. I'll be in a little cabin that's close to the landing, and it has a beautiful bronze statue of one of our great lead dogs granted outside. And I would really love it if you came in, chatted with me more about these amazing athletes, or of course about my family's story. Laura Alloway, who is an Iditarod finisher, will also be down there, and we'll have some dogs that you can get up close to and pet.
Are these guys going to be out of the dryer in time? We'll see if you have enough quarters. Well, now Laura's going to bring you some pens too, because speaking of stories, I want to tell the folks about this wonderful book your mom and dad wrote, which was your favorite bedtime story, The Story of Granite. And if somebody brings you a copy of the book, could you write a little dedication to a special young person in their life? Would you do that?
Absolutely. You know, I've heard my mom tell this story year after year as I was growing up. And of course, her dedication, her perseverance, and Granite's ability to chase what he loved, no matter what the obstacles, really inspired me to follow my dreams. So if people would like to get a copy of that book for their children or their grandchildren, I would be so honored.
Well, Tekla, we loved your mom, of course, and we love the family values you have here at Trailbreaker, and the fact we don't have to say goodbye. We'll say we'll see you downriver, and that's good news. Tekla Monson, everybody.